Hello friends and family. So I am getting in a quick workout this morning. I thought I'd shoot a quick video to talk about weight loss. I have been overweight for the better part of 20 years. Ever since I was 6 years old, I remember struggling with my weight and physical fitness. Did multiple crash diets, yo-yoed, all the stuff you can think of. I did all the fad diets. I even purchased some Candida pills. You can Google those. They're a little sketchy, very expensive. So recently, over the last year, I have lost 40 pounds. And since losing 40 pounds, I have kind of floated back upwards, but that's because I took a break because my daughter was able to climb out of her crib, so we had to switch her to a toddler bed, so she was coming in at 4 a.m., 5 a.m., so I wasn't able to work out. Now, she knows she's supposed to stay in her bed, or at least in her room, until Mama comes and gets her. So now, I have my mornings back, and my workout time back, and for the most part, I have maintained my weight loss. And I'm going to give you a few tips that have worked for me. They may not work for you, but they've worked for me. Sorry, my hair's a mess, but that's real life. Tip number 1, do not, I repeat, do not go into a calorie deficit. Chances are you already are in one without realizing it. All those 1,200 calorie diets can be very dangerous unless you are very short and very skinny already. Chances are you are already eating 250 to 500 or even 1,000 calories less than you should. So, my first word of advice to you is find out your body fat percentage. And there's lots of ways to do this. You can go get a DEXA scan. Those are expensive. Some gyms have an in-body scanner. It depends on where you go. If you have a gym membership, you can also go online. There is a calculator online. I will link it in the description. It is not the most accurate thing, but it is better than nothing. Find out your body fat percentage. And I will also list below, once you have your body fat percentage, your basal metabolic rate. Once you have your body fat percentage, you multiply it times a certain number, which I will list below, and you find your basal metabolic rate. Your basal metabolic rate is what you have to consume every day, even if you were just laying in bed all day. If you never got out of bed, your basal metabolic rate is how many calories you'd have to consume to keep your body functioning in a healthy way. When I ran my body fat percentage through this calculator, I found out I was eating way below my basal metabolic rate, and I was up chasing a toddler around all day. And so what happens when you eat below your basal metabolic rate, or BMR, is your body goes into, as you know, starvation mode, and it will hang on to anything it can to keep your organs functioning. See, what's happening is you're not eating enough to keep your kidneys, your heart, your liver functioning as it should, and your body is saying, ruh-roh, hang on to everything. Don't burn anything. And that's why you may lose a little bit of weight on those crash diets, but then your weight loss stops because your body is freaking out. So, no calorie deficits. Find out your basal metabolic rate, and then add to that anywhere from 500 to 1,000 calories because you're up and about. If you work out daily, add 1,500 calories. You are up and about, going about your life, especially if you have a job that keeps you on your feet. If you're a sedentary person, you sit at a desk all day, you probably wouldn't have to add a whole lot to your BMR. But if you have a job that keeps you on your feet, you're going to want to add a lot. I'll leave another calculator in the description for that. Okay, tip number 2. Increase the amount of protein you eat. I know protein, for some reason, we get scared of protein. We seem to think that protein is a little dangerous if you consume too much. Not so. you need at least 85% of your body weight in grams of protein. That doesn't make a whole lot of sense. Let me explain. Let's say you weigh 100 pounds. Now, nobody who's going to be watching this weighs 100 pounds, but let's say you weigh 100 pounds. You want at minimum 85 grams of protein a day. So I personally try to eat a gram per pound of body weight every day. Don't always make that goal, but it helps. Thing number 2, or no, this is tip number 3 or 4, I don't know. Count calories. Now, I know you said don't go in a calorie deficit, Joanna. Now you're saying to count calories? Here's why. Counting calories will help you make sure you are eating enough food. That's really important. Plus, it'll help you understand where your calories are coming from. If your calories are coming from carbohydrate sources that are low in nutrition, low in vitamins and minerals, you know that you're not serving your body as well. Your body can use those carbs to burn as fuel, but beyond that, it can't really use things like, like chips, crackers, white bread. It can't really use those things too well, except as a fuel source. Other than that, like most of it is just not useful and helpful for your body. So, count your calories so that you know where your calories are coming from and you know the nutritional profile of all the foods you eat. And if you do this for a prolonged period of time, you may over time start to get this intrinsic knowledge of the nutritional profile of foods without looking them up. I can tell you, for most part, that an ounce of cheese is 110 calories. Sometimes it's 100, sometimes it's 120, but usually it's 110. Sometimes that helps. Usually they're about 9 grams of protein. Fat content really varies between the cheeses, but that's just an example. I haven't looked that up on my phone in a long time. I just know that because I've been counting calories so long. Calorie counting is not just for nutritional deficit. It's for learning about what goes into your body and what goes out. And I guess not just calorie counting, but carb, protein, and fat counting. It's very helpful. All right, next tip. Y'all have watched those workout videos on YouTube where they say, don't stop, keep going. That pain is just weakness, keep going. All right, I get where they're coming from. And if you can keep going, you definitely should keep going. But if you feel like you're about to injure yourself, it's okay to stop or modify. There's no shame in that. Because if you modify, over time, you will be able to do the move correctly at the speed they want. If you don't, you could injure yourself, possibly permanently, and never be able to do the move at all. So when you feel that pain, tell yourself, it's okay to stop. I'll try harder tomorrow. Or it's okay to slow down. I'll go faster tomorrow. Because if you tell yourself, I can't stop, that's weakness. When you do inevitably have to stop because your body can't take it anymore, you will feel like a failure. And you won't want to try again. But if you give yourself permission to stop or slow down, and you do stop or slow down, you already have that thought in your head that's, okay, I'll try again tomorrow. It's fine. Next tip, don't obsess over anything. So you ate a little extra cake. All right, so you consumed an extra 500 calories that night. That's life. You're not doing it every day. You're not possibly even doing it every week. It is not going to derail your progress. What's going to derail your progress is the failure mindset you have after eating that cake. If you go, I ate the cake. Guess I failed my diet now. then you're going to go back to eating unhealthy foods because you already feel like a failure. It's kind of like with the fitness, with the modification of the workouts. Give yourself permission to modify your diet as well. And don't call it a cheat. Like, for example, you may say, I'm going to cheat and I'm going to have a bowl of ice cream. Cheating sounds wrong. It sounds like a sin. And in many cases it is. But when it comes to your diet, don't call it a cheat. Say, this is a modification I need to do to my diet to make it sustainable. If you say, I'm never going to eat ice cream again, you will not be able to sustain that. If you say, I'm going to reduce the amount of ice cream I eat, but I will still have a bowl every so often when I feel that I would like a bowl of ice cream. It's just a simple modification to your diet that you are in charge of. You make the rules. Arm yourself with knowledge about your body, about nutrition. Arm yourself with good sleep and a family that will support you if you can. And you will do just fine. There's probably more tips I could share, but those are probably the biggest ones. Let me know if this helps you. Bye.